Black First, my brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode of the For the Culture. Okay, we're doing another late night live stream because we just got to do it for you guys. We love you guys so very much. We got to do it, and there's still much to talk about. We still got to talk about the stuff going on with Essence and how terrible Essence is operating nowadays. We gotta discuss this. This has to be discussed. This has to be talked about. So, without any further ado, hold on. They always be hiding the logos or whatever. They always be doing that, but it's okay. It's all right. So, what we're gonna do is everybody knows the whole thing. People are having an issue with Essence and all of that stuff. People are having an issue, and people are acting obtuse. People are acting like they don't understand why foundational Black Americans have a problem with our culture being overshadowed and erased. Okay, but by overshadowing it, you're also erasing it. So we got some things that I want to show. I got some receipts because you know that's how we do. We got some receipts that I want to show everybody. Hold on, let me play this real quick. But before we do, what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the copyright disclaimer to establish to YouTube that everything that we play is protected under the guise of fair use, so they can't mess with us. That's what we're gonna do. All right. Okay, and as we're doing that, y'all hit that like button, and we'll be right back. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, so this is where we were, and this is from the Breakfast Club. This is a small clip from that of the CEO of Essence. Okay, so we're gonna show that. So this is the type of time she was on. So anybody saying that, oh, y'all tripping, this is a diaspora war, y'all sound xenophobic, this is what she was on. All right. Okay, come on now.
I thought that was mine. I thought it was my joint dripping.
They sabotaging us, y'all, but it's okay.
The usual.
So as we're waiting for that, there's always something, ain't it? Always something, ain't it? But as we're waiting for that,
which clip is that? Which lady is that?
That's the CEO. That's the Kenyan CEO of Essence.
Is her last? Is that the one with the last name Tubman, or is that the other lady I'm thinking about?
That's the one with the last name. What is her last name? That's the one with the last name Wanga.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Agrees. Okay.
So the video doesn't want to play. We have other things that we have to discuss. Now, before we do that, ZEZE, what is your take? What have you seen about the Essence Fest and the kind of diaspora wars, quote unquote, that we're going through?
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of commentary on it, and it's interesting because I've really, I've been listening a lot because I didn't really know much about the Essence Festival. Like I knew about it, I knew it was a Black thing, but I've never been. I don't think I really know anybody that's been for real. So it wasn't that, you know what I'm saying? Like even hearing about it going on, I wasn't really too intrigued about what was happening until I started hearing about the down or the erasure of our culture within the event. And I'm like, I know this is definitely some FBA, like an FBA festival for sure. So that automatically like had my alarms up and had my antennas up when I started seeing the commentary on it. I was seeing some of the people talking about how bad their experience was and that the ticket sales was down. But yeah, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that at all. When we go to other people's spaces, and we talked about this on Juneteenth, when we go to other people's spaces, even if we own it, if we're a CEO, we are very respectful of other people's cultures. You know, we don't go there and try to Americanize other people's spaces. That's not what we do. We don't center ourselves in other people's rooms. So for them to come over here and do that is just very disrespectful. It adds again to our erasure, to the white supremacist agenda, to erase our lineage and our history and our culture, our heritage. And yeah, I'm not feeling that. You know, that's seen the whole thing with Joe Law versus Jambalaya, and I seen a clip of some lady talking about, singing some sort of African spiritual. I don't even know what the hell it was, but she was talking about freedom or something like that. It was actually kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. But so yeah, it's just some of the things I'm seeing. I'm seeing that they had flags up, a bunch of different flags from the diaspora, didn't even have any American flags. I'm like, y'all don't got, Juneteenth was just last month. Y'all ain't got a Juneteenth flag. The Black American Heritage flag, the FBA flag. Shit, even the RBG flag. Damn, something. I'm like, something to represent us. That's insane. That's actually hella disrespectful. And if it was the other way around, there's no way that we will be allowed to do that. We're not even that. Damn, if we even are, like, that's not a part of our behavior to do things like that. Our mentality. We don't go over. We don't have a takeover mindset. We just go into people's space and just want to take over. But even besides that, we're not allowed to do that. There's no way we're going to Africa and Americanizing some traditionally African ritual, event, festival. It's not happening. They would be damned to see us do that. And the only way that we could do it is if it was a way for them to exploit money from us doing so. So it wouldn't even be completely beneficial on our side. So yeah, no, I'm not feeling any of the Africanized aspects of it that I've been seeing. It looks egregious.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is that what we're saying is not unreasonable. What we're saying is not unfair, because they're on the same type of time. If we went to Africa Fest or Afro Fest, which is something that they have, if we went to Carnival, if we went to any type of Haitian Flag Day, Puerto Rican Flag Day, if we went to any of those things and we said, you know what, I'm gonna bring the Juneteenth flag, they would be all like, that flag doesn't belong here. This is not about everybody. Okay. They did that with Michael B. Jordan when he tried to do the thing with Gervais. They was like, hey, you're not Caribbean, you can't do that. They were telling black people to stay out of the carnival thing because we're not Caribbean. Now people are acting dumb. And you actually have some people who are just actually being bold. They're being just straight up bold about it. There are people who are saying, because we quote unquote as FBA, we sold it, so they have the right to do anything they want to do with it. Look at this.
Non-black.
Okay, hold on.
Lord, not a Negro in the bonnet. It's about to go left.
Oh, it's not him. Hold on.
Oh, it's not him. I'm
Keep
out.
non-black Americans away from things that are for black Americans. Why is there a Jollof versus Jambalaya competition at Essence Fest?
Because this is the owner of Essence Fest. And as you can see, he was born in Liberia. That's not Mississippi. That's a country in Africa. Okay? Again, this is the CEO of Essence Fest. And unfortunately, she is not from Delaware. She is from Kenya, which is also a country in East Africa.
Why are there African and Caribbean vendors at Essence Fest?
Because it was originally created by you guys. You created a space for yourself, but then you sold it. You gave it away. Sold it to African people. So now you can't pick and choose who can come into that space because it's no longer yours. You sold it. That's kind of how the law of ownership works. And one thing about Africans, they're going to bring a Caribbean in every fucking time they can because we cousins, we locked in. So of course we going to be there.
If Caribbeans and Africans want to have an event that's as big as Essence Fest, they can go create it.
Now, why exactly would we do that when you lot have already created the space and sold it for us to use? That's kind of like buying a house and choosing to sleep outside. Don't make no fucking sense.
And for the black Americans that have an issue with other black Americans having pride in being black American, where is your racial self-esteem at? Why is it so low? What the hell is going on?
I don't think it's them with the self-esteem issue. I think it's you. Just stay at home. Anyway, shout out to all the African Americans that just fuck with everybody. Everybody fuck with you niggas too. Yeah, let us be outside. Let us enjoy. Good night.
I ain't like that. That nigga had to sound a little racial slurish. I ain't like that. You ain't say niggas
what is your take on that? What is your take on that? Talk to us.
Egregious. Outrage, everything between. Now, one thing I will say is we shouldn't have sold it. If we was going to sell it, the owner should have sold it to somebody that was black American. Point blank.
I agree. And I said that.
Yeah. But moreover, just because you buy something doesn't mean you have to ruin its traditions. Again, we would not do that. If a Black American took over something that was African, we would still center it in African traditions. We are not going to Americanize it. If y'all wanted an African, she's talking about it's just like buying a house and sleep outside of it. No. Put a cookout in the backyard. Why don't y'all go create another event? If you can do Essence Fest, why don't create another Essence Fest? How about Essence Fest Africa? Why don't we just do 2 separate events if that's the case? If you really want to Africanize it, then do one for Africa and for the rest of the diaspora, and keep the one that's for Black Americans, just Essence Fest for Black America or around July 4th. Like, why is that an issue for y'all to do that? Just because, why do you feel the need to come over here and take over our spaces? And then you want to get mad when we talk about how, no, we're from here, when we detach ourselves from being African, and it's like, oh, well, no, everybody African. I don't know why. Oh, well, shout out to all African Americans that just love, we love y'all niggas too. And it's like, you're degrading us. It's like grateful for what you get, what we gave you when you sold it. So now we gonna do what we want with it and be grateful. It's like, no, because mind you, if that was the case, why the hell wasn't a bunch of Africans flooding it? Y'all was still checking for Black Americans to show up to the Essence Fest. Your ticket sales was down. Wasn't no Africans and Caribbeans flooded. It should have been flooded. Yeah, y'all should have been coming out to support y'all people. No, you tricked us. You still had FBA performers. You still acted like it was going to be FBA centered. You tricked the Black Americans that did go out there and support you, instead of just being honest. Like, you know what? We bought this. We about to Africanize the hell out of this joint. People got there and was like, where the hell is the Black vendors? Where's the blackity black? Where's the Black American? That's disingenuous, and it doesn't make it right that you own it. You should still stick to the traditions. That is just, and go get, you know what? How about y'all go do some original shit? Why y'all gotta always attach yourselves to stuff? It's because we're the only people on this planet that get things popping globally. Everything we do, y'all want a part of. You could have easily, like the brother said, when it created something just for y'all. Y'all do something for a day. Y'all do something for a weekend. Go do a festival. You know why it's not going to be popping and nobody's going to give a damn? Because we're not going to be there. That's what it is. You have to attach yourselves to our stuff, because that's the only way people are really going to care about it. Just be honest. If you're going to say it like that, the hell, that girl just put me off. Let me calm down.
Yeah, I fully agree. One of the things that it was interesting is that she said, yeah, when the Africans come in, they're going to bring Caribbeans in every time because we cousins. And I'm like, that's very interesting for you to say that. So what are we to you?
Right.
If they're your cousins and you all like, yeah, we bringing them in and pushing us out, what are we to you? So yeah, tell the truth at that point then. Tell the truth, because y'all on one side, when y'all want to be included, when y'all want to come in our spaces, we all family, we all from the motherland, and the ship just dropped us off at a different place. And then when y'all want to come in and do your own thing, well, this is family stuff. We cousins over here, and we just doing this by ourselves, okay? You can, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, and we shouldn't. So we need to get back to the pride of ownership. But the thing is that when you buy something, if the thing already has value that you didn't add no value into it, if the thing already has value, the thing already has an audience, the smart business thing to do is to keep that on brand. If I went and bought a McDonald's franchise and then started selling Chinese food and people started complaining because they don't go to McDonald's for Chinese food, I can't be like, well, I bought it, I can do what I want. Yeah, you can, but people go for burgers.
Exactly.
People go for fries and milkshakes. People don't go for orange chicken. That's not where they go there for. So people have a right to not want to show up. And that's why y'all can keep that energy. That's why the tickets are record low. Y'all sitting up there acting like we did something. Yeah, we can show up. Why would we do that? Okay, well, that's why you're broke. That's why everybody's complaining. That's why next year, probably half the people who showed up this year ain't going to show up again. If we're going to tell the truth.
And we're gonna see if
and the thing is that y'all not coming to add anything. It's not like y'all want this to even be this big Pan-African thing. You're deliberately saying, hey, we pushing you out. This and this is what a lot of in the tethers, they have this thing of your time as FBA is up. It's time for us now. Because they feel like they've been living in our shadow or something, and now they feel like it's their time to shine and push us out. It's us versus them.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm like, it's very disingenuous because instead of being say, I'm glad that you pointed that out. We cousins, but then at the end say, yeah, we love y'all niggas too. It's like, wow. So I mean, that right there kind of just shows the underlying vitriol that you're trying to hide. You're trying to cape this whole, well, we're just African and we're just doing as we should do. It's kind of it's exposing them for what their real intentions are, and that is to take over. Some bullshit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, it is. We got some other people trying to gaslight because they had a panel discussing why they had a panel discussing why, you know, the whole thing of why Essence Festival flopped, because it ultimately did. The weekend is over, it flopped. So they had a panel discussing that, so we're going to get into it.
Thank you for joining us for the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. The Essence Festival is normally the crown of summer events, especially for the Black community, placing a spotlight on Black culture. But is there a crack in the crown? There's a list of complaints, including Target being a sponsor despite the company's rollback on DEI policies. People are also upset about some of the musical acts. Lauryn Hill reportedly did not hit the stage until 2:30 in the morning, playing to a nearly empty Caesars Superdome. Some fans are asking if Essence Fest has lost the plot and tarnished its legacy. Joining us to talk about it, comedian and radio veteran Nate Todd Smith, CEO of Regal Media, radio personality KG Smooth, publicist Brigitte Waugh, and Sherry Hendrinos, owner of Boost Marketing, also into public relations and crisis intervention. So, KG, you just got off the plane.
Literally.
From New Orleans, from the Essence Fest. What was it like? Because when we see many of the videos, some of the venues appear to be empty. The city just didn't look like it had.
It didn't feel the same. It didn't feel the same. It didn't look the same, but it definitely didn't feel the same. And a lot of what the people were saying is because of the new leadership. I was there at the convention center Saturday, prime time, 3 a.m. Saturday afternoon. Normally that place is wall to wall. It was like a ghost town. I was shocked. I was really shocked. And so I don't know. Some folks are saying the acts. I thought that the lineup was pretty dope each night. Lauryn Hill being really late on Friday night, that wasn't her fault.
That's part of the course, though.
That's the norm. That's the norm.
But it's not her fault this time. They actually started egregiously late, and it Target.
Oh, there go your word.
You know, I peeped that.
Being a sponsor, the title sponsor.
I heard about Lauryn Hill performing late too. That's actually the first time I heard that it was because of the event coordination. I didn't realize that they had just started that late. I just kept hearing that she came so late and people were leaving. People didn't want to stay for a performance. But I didn't realize that that it was because the way they was coordinating was they just ended up had all the performance getting pushed, all the performance times getting pushed back. Good to know. Yeah. Very good to know.
Yeah, everybody was saying the event was terribly managed. She didn't get on until it was like 2:30 something in the morning, and the stadium was pretty much empty at 2:30 in the morning. Damn near nobody was there, and she performed to an empty crowd. I mean, I'm talking about it. That was terrible, and it wasn't her. A lot of people, the vendors, the performers, the influencers, a lot of people said that it was disorganized.
Sound like sabotage to me. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
They know folks ain't doing that, but what they're saying is the ownership. You know, that they are trying to do more with the African diaspora and with our Caribbean family and take away the Black American culture that started Essence Fest in the first place. That's what the main conversation on the ground was.
And to take Caroline Wanga is the CEO, current CEO.
Yes.
What do you see as the problem here? And is there a problem in your mind?
In my mind, it's not. I hate the diaspora wars and everything. And I've been, seeing all these things and people talking on TikTok and all the different sites. And I feel like they're using a lot of words just trying to say African booty scratcher on the cool, like just being very negative towards Africans and people that are Pan-African. And I don't like that.
And really quick, quick, for those who are wondering what we're talking about, many say it's more pro-Africa than it is Black American, and the celebration of the Black American culture.
I mean, the lineup is pretty much all Black American, and I mean, if Essence was up for sale, like a Black American could have purchased it as well. So I think sometimes when things aren't working out, or you're being evolving, or just change. Essence started in 1970. The first Essence Fest was in 1995. It is 2025. It's going to look different. America's different. Everything is different. And I think it's a little bit, a little intellectually lazy just to say, well, it's an African that's leading, that owns it, and that's another one that's leading it. So they're trying to change everything. I saw the whole, Jollof versus jambalaya thing. When people always ask me growing up, what is jollof rice like? I would always say it's kind of like jambalaya, because I think everybody eats beans and rice. We season it a little differently, but I think there's a lot of ways to be together than separate. I think that's just a lazy intellectual argument.
I think that they could have.
Okay.
Oh yeah, now
We're gonna pause it right there. We're gonna pause it right there.
she's a tether.
Okay. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
African Booty Scratcher is absolutely insane. That's a lazy ass intellectual argument. You want to talk about lazy intellectual? You started off with bullshit talking about African Booty. I have not seen as many of the videos I have seen with Black Americans commentating on the Essence Festival. Not one, honestly, that word has even came any insult, even if there was insults. Many of them there weren't insults. Many of the videos I watched were literally pointing out the fact that our culture was slowly but surely and blatantly being erased from this festival in the many different ways of which they were doing it. Many of them, I can't even think of one where they were just straight up just insulting Africans. What is she talking about? What is she like that? And this is what I'm saying. The way that this is a projection for real. That's what that is. That's a projection. You feel like Black Americans is degenerate. You feel like Black American, you don't see the value in Black American culture. You feel like it's okay to just come over in Black American spaces and take over. So you're trying to put that on us. And that's like, I'm not feeling that narrative at all, because you're trying to push blame back on Black Americans. What do you mean America looks different? It don't look that much fucking different. It looks a little, there's a lot of tethers, there's a lot of immigrants, but Black American spaces, a lot of Black American spaces still look like straight up Black American spaces. You go down south, especially a lot to the places where some of these immigrants are afraid to travel to, they're still very much Black American. What are we talking about? You talking about New Orleans? New Orleans has very, very Black ass spaces in New Orleans. So what are we saying that, we're supposed to represent it, even if America did the difference, that ain't got shit to do with Essence Fest. Essence Fest isn't about America, it's about Black America. And that's what she don't get because she's a tether.
Yeah. Second everything. Well put. The thing is that, yeah, you say America it looks very different. Like you said, not really. We're still the predominant Black people here. Okay. Most Black people here are foundational Black Americans. All right. Now here's the thing. It's not supposed to look different. Essence isn't supposed to look different. Essence is supposed to highlight our culture. Our culture is not supposed to look different to include you guys, because you guys are not sitting up there changing and adapting us into you guys' holidays. We can't say, hey, Haitian Flag Day. I mean, let's be honest. It's changed. It's evolved. It's 2025. So let's put the Juneteenth flag there. Let's put the Juneteenth flag at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Their stuff, they want their stuff to stay exactly how it is. The same way they were with Carnival. They was all like, wow, all these Black Americans coming to Carnival. They're not Caribbean. We didn't say, hey, hold on now. Things have changed. It's 2025. Let's be inclusive, and playing this little game like we don't understand why they were upset. We said, cool. I mean, damn, you ain't got to say it like that, but all right, okay. That's how we were. And the takes that people are giving is not disrespectful African booty scratcher. First off, the more they keep saying that, the less I believe anybody is saying that.
Exactly.
I believe that that's just an internet thing that they say that we say to them. I don't hear us saying that at all.
I don't. Ever. Not even in real life. Ever. I never hear people using that terminology. Like.
No. It's disingenuous. And you're saying I don't like the whole diaspora war thing. It doesn't have to be. It's about respect. It's not about us versus you. But if you guys are coming in and you guys are saying, okay, the FBA, y'all got to go to the back now because we're here. And if we say, hey, why we got to go to the back? This was our space. That's a diaspora war. Now, if we went to Nigeria, if we went to the Caribbean and we said, okay, well, we're here now, so you guys got to move your stuff to the back so we can be highlighted at your event, all of them would feel that way. And nobody would be sitting up there playing dumb and acting like they don't understand. Every single person be all like, yeah, that is kind of disrespectful. You can't come to somebody's spot and then move them out the room or move them to the back of the room. But yet when we have these conversations, people be all like, why can't we just all get along? Getting along means letting you guys take our spot. A space with a culture that is very rarely talked about, that a culture that is often demonized, a culture that people often say we don't have, a culture that is very rich, but very rarely spoken of and highlighted. And you guys want to come in and say, yeah, all that shit gotta go. Y'all push that to the back. Okay. Right. And then when we say, hey, I'm not feeling this. Oh, now it's a diaspora war. So we just allow you guys to ethnically erase our culture. And if we don't say if we say something, it's a diaspora war.
You know what's crazy about that diaspora war too, because most of these non-FBAs are the main ones outside of Black America. Black people outside of Black America are the main ones participating in the diaspora wars. The Caribbeans against the Haitians against the Africans against whatever the hell. The other Black groups are the ones that are mainly participating in the diaspora wars. And the crazy part about it is they say they cousins. The only time, let me say this, what it seems like is, at least for the tethers, let me not put this on non-Black Americans. Let me not try to do that. But at least for the tethers and these non-Black Americans that clearly have a disdain for Black America, they all seem to come to get in one band. All seem to just gather up and kumbaya when it comes to going against Black Americans. That seems like when they can get along the most, when they can do something to band together to go against us or what we got going on. But outside of that, y'all love to fight amongst each other. But when it comes, once a Black American step into the room, it's, oh, yo, hold up, the niggas is here. So it's like, please miss me with the diaspora, miss me with the Black Americans, African booty scratching bullshit. Come on, get out of here with that nonsense.
You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. Folks playing like they don't understand.
Come on,
they don't understand. Y'all was cursing Michael B. Jordan out. And now all of a sudden, oh, the world has changed and we need to include you guys. Yeah, but let's continue. Let's continue with the video.
Named it something else, like the taste of the diaspora or something like that. But to make it like, they named it the Battle of Jollof, which was very big on the graphic, versus Jambalaya in this small ass font.
But was that one thing? Was that one thing out of 3 days? You know what I mean?
Sure,
at the Superdome,
that was
one thing.
Yeah, that was one thing.
And there's so many different activations. There were so many different acts. This one thing means that, Africans are taking it over. I don't really, buy that.
All right, Bridget, listen.
Now, here's the thing. I'm sorry. I got to stop this again.
Go ahead.
Every single time since Juneteenth have become a federal holiday, they've been doing this every year. Every year since Juneteenth and we just talked about this on Juneteenth, okay, less than a month ago. They want to come in and be like, Juneteenth is really for everybody in the diaspora. They keep coming in and doing that. And we keep having to say, no, this is supposed to be for us and our culture. And they be all like, well, I don't understand why I can't be in and playing this dumb game. If this wasn't a pattern, why do we keep seeing it everywhere we look with our culture? Whether that's Juneteenth, whether that's Essence, whether that's hip hop. Every time we look at our culture, you got somebody else trying to remove us from it and take claim to it. So this is an agenda that they have. They do a lot, and I mean the tethers, they do have this agenda.
Absolutely. And they love to belittle. That's a part of their that's one of their tactics, is trying to, oh, well, it was just one thing, the Jollof versus Jambalaya, which she didn't even acknowledge the brother saying, well, they had Jollof in all capitals and just put Jambalaya on the bottom in lowercase letter. She didn't even want to acknowledge it. Well, it's just one. It was only a couple of performances. I don't understand how that's taking over. Well, yeah, I mean, somebody just said in the chat, I caught what somebody said. It was like, you sound like you describing the white supremacists. Well, yeah, that's their fucking tactics. These are pawns. Tethers are pawns of the white supremacists ultimately. But that is definitely a part of a white supremacist tactic, because all it takes is an inch, and they're going to take a whole anti-black mile every time.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just that. It was the fact that people came in, they deliberately put the Caribbean and the African booths and everything up in the front. All the FBA booths had to get to the back. First off, a lot of people, and we had live streams about this, a lot of people were saying it was difficult for them to even get in the room, for them to get in the building. There was flags about the Caribbean, flags about the African continent. Our flags wasn't there at all. Our stuff wasn't highlighted. There was people who were claiming, I wasn't there, but a lot of people who were there were claiming they were playing Afro beats and their stuff the entire time. They messed it up so much that they said, yeah, the lineup is FBA, but yeah, the FBA lineup went at 2:00 in the morning. If you think about it, yeah, I guess the lineup was, but you guys pushed that to them the middle of the night when nobody was there.
Exactly. Yeah, hell no, that's absolutely insane.
Hear from you.
I mean, I saw different things as I was looking at, doing my own research, and it looked like it's a matter of opinion. Some people say they had a great time. Some people said that, it sucked. And the main thing that everyone said, though, is that Target, being the title sponsor, was a problem for them because we're boycotting Target. And a lot of people on TikTok and Instagram were like, hashtag boycott Target, and how that wasn't right, because it's like they connected it to Caroline, because it's like she used to be the head of DEI at Target, and then now they're the title sponsor at Essence. That's for the culture, which is for Black Americans, if you will. And there's been a long time that there's been this confrontation.
Okay, let me say something about the whole thing with Target. Let me say something about that, right? She doesn't work for Target, and I did some research. She used to work at a department of like the DEI thing when they were still doing that. So it's not like Target was a sponsor, okay? And what they're doing is they're bringing up Target and using that to divert from the fact that foundational Black Americans have a cultural issue with what's going on at Essence. It's not about Target. They'd be like, man, if it wasn't for Target, things would be great. People have actually said they've had an issue with Essence for some years now. We just started to the boycott of Target just started this year. Okay, this year. So why were the other years people having the same issue with Essence? Okay, and all of the videos I'm seeing, I ain't seeing nobody complain about Target. Personally, I haven't seen nobody complain. This is because when foundational Black Americans don't show up, and we can even bring the election into this, when we didn't show up and we sat on the couch, that's us taking a stand. That's us taking a stand to something. And what they want to do is they don't want that stand to be acknowledged. So they try to divert what we do and our energy into something else. They try to revert the effect and blame it on something else. So they're not, so with the whole thing with Kamala, they were all like, well, no, Black people voted. It was really what was going on in Palestine. That's the reason. That's the real reason. The war in Gaza, that was the real reason she didn't win. And that was to divert from the fact that they don't want to acknowledge that our stance is what caused her to lose. And then with the thing with Essence, our stance of wanting our culture to be represented is what's causing Essence to lose tickets. It's not Target.
Absolutely. If anything, Target kind of speaks to the detachment, because like you said, it is a lot of Black people that's boycotting Target right now. So it does speak to the lack of, cultural or political affiliation of the people running the show. But yeah, again, that's a minor factor in the bigger screen, in the bigger scheme, for sure.
say, you know, with Black Americans and with actual Africans, because it's always been said that Africans don't like Black Americans because we're lazy or, you know, different things of that nature. So it just depends. I think part of that comes from that underlying current that's still there against, you know, with Black Americans and Africans as a whole. So I hate that they're disparaging us with that.
We'll continue in just a second, Bridget. We'll be right back with our guests. Stay with us. And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. We're talking about the Essence Fest and the issue that some Black people have with Carnival Cruise Line. So let's continue back with Essence. Sherry, when you talk about a crisis situation in marketing and your image, what should the Essence Fest do in order to address those who may be unhappy with the way things turned out this year?
Yeah, I think in any brand, you have to listen to your consumer. It doesn't matter what, you know, brand you are. And from what I'm hearing and from everyone, KG was there, you have to listen to who you're catering to. That's important because the point of this festival is to celebrate Black culture and Black heritage, and it seems like it's veering away from that, from what everyone's saying. Personally, I didn't go this year. I had people on my team that went that did say it was way slower, was not as busy. But in any brand, you have to know your audience, you know, and so you have to evolve with time. But still, if you're seeing your numbers go down, I think it was like 73% this year, then you have to adapt. You say, what are we doing wrong here to adapt to what our following wants, and you should, if you want to keep it going.
And of course, you have to acknowledge that to yourself, that you may be doing something wrong. Todd?
And she mentioned about.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. Not sure why they had her on the panel. I don't know if, unless she like works for the event, then I can see if she like worked for Essence or was like you know, organize the event or something like that, but they didn't specify that. So if she's just in marketing, you could have got an actual FBA who's in marketing. I'm not, because she looks Hispanic to me.
Yeah, and most white Hispanic.
Okay. So okay.
Yeah,
and I'm not even saying what she said was wrong. It's just like there's always like a non-Black person on the panel discussing Black issues.
Yeah, I don't like that. Especially in the mix of diaspora wars. Yeah, okay, y'all, we can handle this. We got this. But wait, go on to it. We don't need no outside help. You know what I'm saying? That's the greatest.
Evolving, the music has evolved, and we mentioned it off camera. A lot of those original artists, Frankie Beverly, God bless his soul, they had passed away. Back in the day when I would go with friends, I would go with my parents. There was always acts that everybody could relate to. Nowadays, you have such a interesting point in urban music where you have something that the young people gonna love, and some of the old people gonna love, and it's like no in between. You know what I mean? So some of the younger artists, like the Coco Joneses of the world, they're great and I love them, but they might not have that long track record to have built an audience of young and old. So that's an interesting position for Essence to be in. The princes of the world are gone. All these artists that everybody could run.
Maxwell. We
that's
had
true.
Baby
But can the young
people?
that's
we
true.
had Jill Scott. We had Jasmine Sullivan. We had Patti LaBelle. We had Siren.
But also a lot of these.
But do they get the okay, Summer Walker? But do they get a lot of those people? Do they get the younger artists? Maxwell, I'm cool with Maxwell.
And look, and then they kind of get into the music of young people and old people, so that's kind of it with that. But a lot of foundational Black Americans, they still listen to old school music. They grew up with old school artists and everything like that. You can easily find, and I don't like them blaming it, you can easily find something that universally everybody knows the songs and everybody enjoys. That is not hard.
It would only be hard for somebody coming from outside the culture. Because whether you 18 or 25 or 30, like some artists are just going to be well known to everybody. Maxwell is one of them. Genuine, like it's a lot of artists out here that are just that people are still going to be familiar with, and even if they're not familiar with, it's like I know some of that. You're familiar with some of their music. Like my mom played this. It's something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not. You know, and honestly, what is the age range for Evans? Because from what it looks like, most of the people at Essence Fest don't look like they're like below like 25. Do you know what the typical? They don't look. If you over 25 and up, then nigga, know who some of these older artists are. Like, it's not that
Yeah.
would not be a big deal to you for you to, you know what I'm saying, to ruin the festival for you to see a Jill Scott or Erykah Badu. Like, that's not going to. You're at that point. You're probably 25 others is familiar with a lot of these artists. Period. You know, so it's. I mean, come on, that's kind of a weak. That's a weak argument.
Yeah, that's a moot point, and that's just like a cop out to say there's nothing essence. It's trying to give them a pass. You know what I'm saying? Trying to give them a pass, and it's just not working because we know in our culture there's still people that my mother and grandmother would know of, that I would know of. There's still people that reaches generations who are still alive today. So it's not that. Come on now, it's not
Brandy,
like that.
that's another good one. That's a fact. Yeah.
There's a lot of people that could have bought up. Whatever the case is. And Essence has been around. They've been doing their festival for what? Since the 90s. So they've been doing their stuff for over 30 some years at this point. And they've never ran into this problem. So let's not act like this. People have been living and dying for a long time now, and they never ran into a problem where they ran out of artists. So it's not happened. It's not happened. That's not no legitimate excuse.
So I'm like, that kind of sounds like sabotage. The way that they coordinated that, it sounds like this is a way for next year for them to be like, oh, we're going to have some Afro beats, some Caribbean artists come onto the main stage. They're going to bring on Burna Boy, and I bet you them Negroes get to perform on time. All they little African and Caribbean artists get to perform on time.
Yeah. One of the things that I can appreciate, and I said this on my live stream when I discuss it, I can appreciate when somebody who's non-FBA is telling the truth. I can appreciate that. There's this, and it's crazy that I'm seeing more women be honest about it than I am seeing men. It's not crazy, it's just disappointing because the men are the ones who are supposed to be the ones actually, you know, on the forefront saying it. But I'm actually seeing more of the women do it. This woman right here is Haitian.
Fucking hold your hand as I say what I'm gonna say.
This woman is Haitian, and she's saying this about Essence.
I'm not gonna fucking hold your hand as I say what I'm gonna say, as you are too old, you are too grown to be babied and coddled to hear and accept the truth. With that being said, Black Americans are 100% allowed to want and to have an event that is 100% curated towards them and their culture without feeling the pressure of having to include other cultures of the Black and African diaspora. I said what the fuck I said, and there's nothing wrong with that. People from the Caribbean are 100% allowed to want and to have an event that is 100% curated for them and their culture. Hispanics are allowed the same rights. Natives are allowed the same rights. Everybody is allowed to have that. And I say that because of the recent discourse that is surrounding the Essence Festival. I don't know if you know about it, but there has been critiques basically from the Black American side stating that, especially with this year's Essence Festival, that it has become more Africanized, that Essence Festival has become increasingly more catering towards the African culture than the actual Black American culture. I'm going to make this so abundantly clear. The Essence Festival is known as the largest celebration of Black women. And I understand that when we use the word Black, we're including everybody that is a part of the African diaspora. But Black is a term that is referencing towards the Afro Americans, okay? The Black Americans here in America. The rest of us, we put Afro in front of our title. Afro Caribbean, Afro Latina, Afro Asian, Afro. That's what we do. That being said, Essence Festival is an event that was created to celebrate Black American women. Not Black women all over the world, Black American women. And in the recent years, due to the acquisition of the Essence Festival by a Liberian man known as Richelieu Dennis, Essence Festival has become increasingly more catering towards the African culture rather than the Black American culture. And because Black Americans have started to speak up on it, there's actually been some African creators like basically making videos and trying to figure out what's the issue. Why is there so much negative conversation? Like, it seemed like everybody had fun. Two things can be true at once. Yes, people had fun, but they can still see that their culture is being less represented when this is supposed to be an event for their culture and another culture is being celebrated. When you guys have Afrofest, y'all have that. And if people were to go to Afrofest and now started hip hop here and rap over here, you're gonna complain. You're gonna complain. Because as a Caribbean person, if I hear somebody come to a Caribbean fete and they talking about where's the hip hop, I'm go and find that event. Like, you're gonna complain. So don't act dense. Don't act dense as if you don't understand where some of the negative commentary is coming from. Yes, people had fun, but they could have also had fun while realizing, yo, this is more African than it is American. And here's the creator, the video that I saw. I don't want her to get any hate. She already turned her comments off. The only reason why I'm including it is because every time that I say that I seen a video from somebody else, if I don't include them, you guys think that I'm fucking lying and just creating the story out of thin air. Or, you know, I'm pretty sure you guys are doing it because you want to be messy, but I'm sorry, I'm not lying.
And I seen that video you're referring to too.
I've seen that too. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, but she's right. I like that. I like that energy. Okay, shout out to the non-FBA sister on code. We let her see it. So, but yeah, she's absolutely correct. You know, and that's what I'm like. We shouldn't even have to over-explain ourselves. There should be just a general understanding, because, like she said, at these other events, if they're playing jazz, we're not gonna just say hip hop. They love to just go to hip hop. Like, that's the only thing we created. That's the only genre. But if they was playing jazz or rock or the blues, okay, if they was playing any of these other genres at their events, they would have a problem. Okay, they would be like, "Where's our Afro beats? Where's our Caribbean? Where's our reggae?" You know what I'm saying? So, and that's understandable, because that is an event centered in your culture. So it's like, for y'all to have this basic understanding for one another, because y'all cousins. You know what I'm saying? You have this basic understanding for your cousins, but you don't have that understanding for Black Americans. It goes back to that vitriol that y'all have, that anti-Blackness that is instilled within y'all. Because there's no way we should even have to utter a word when the essence, pun intended, of the festival is not American anymore. Just like the brother was saying, like, if a Black American is saying to you, just go back to that panel, if a Black American is saying to you, like, yeah, it felt like less American, it didn't feel right. And for you as a non-FBA, clearly she was non-FBA, for you to come up here and say, oh, no, it's not that big of a deal, and try to belittle his experience there, not coming from someone that's outside of his culture, that's hella disrespectful. I'm not going to go to a Caribbean event that may have mixed cultures and say, oh, this is fine. I'm going to listen. I'm going to shut my ass up and listen to those of that space and see how they feel about it, because ultimately how they feel is what really matters. AKA, as you can see, ticket sales, what we feel really matter. So you should very much be quiet, get to the back, get in line if you want to say something, wait till everybody else, wait till all the people of that group say what they got to say, and then speak your piece. Because at that point, your piece, honestly, if you're not in agreement or on code with us, it will be null and void any damn way. But you should at least have the little bit of respect and decency to be like, let me let them figure that out. Let me let them get that off. Let me let them tell how their experiences was, because we know as a people, even if it wasn't those blatant things, the flag, the Jollof rice, the music, even if it wasn't those blatant things, we can still feel the energy. It's just us as a people. We know when it's our space and when it's not. We know when it's a little uncomfortable, it's a little off. Something don't feel right. I don't know what, I can't put my finger on it, but something about it just don't feel real Black. I can't really say, they had some Black artists, they had some Black food, some Black vendors, but it was just, it was a little lackluster. I'm not sure what it was. I can't put my finger on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, respect that. We respect that with other people, respect that with us.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. We do respect that with other people. When Black Americans, when we go out of America, when we go overseas, whether we go into Mexico, Jamaica, the Caribbean, anywhere in Africa, or whatever the case is, if there's an event that we're going for, we're going to conform to whatever the customs are of that event. So if the event is you wear these types of colors or these types of clothes, we would wear that. If the event is orange and blue, we showing up in orange and blue. We're not gonna be all like, nah, I'm gonna show up in some red and black. That's what I'm gonna show up. We wouldn't do that. Right. Okay. And that type of disrespect, and by us doing that or not doing that, that's actually, to them, they would see that as a protest to their culture. So when it was Juneteenth, and we were talking about, hey, we should only see Black American flags. That's either the Juneteenth flag, the FBA flag, the Black American Heritage flag. We should only see our flags. And they was like, no, that's a protest. And this is something around the nation. You're seeing FBAs from around the country saying the same thing. So it's not like one person feels some type of way and now it's a trend to say something. There's multiple people saying the exact same thing. And we've been saying it for some time now. And I can respect the fact that somebody is honest, because it's not out of no jealousy. It's not out of, I mean, it was jambalaya and jollof, but I really don't see the problem. I don't really see the problem then. Okay, yeah, okay. So if I was to go to Nigeria and I was to do a jambalaya versus jollof, and I'm gonna put jollof in big font, it's the jollof fest, and then put jambalaya or jollof, right, in a small little font that you gotta squint your eyes to look at and everything like that. And then I'm gonna play Tupac, you know, and I'm gonna play Snoop Dogg and Kendrick Lamar. Y'all would feel some type of way. Waving my flag, y'all would feel some type of way. Y'all would. And y'all would say that that would be disrespectful. Not that we would do it, because we know it's disrespectful, and y'all know it's disrespectful too. And y'all can play dense, but y'all clearly not making no money doing what y'all doing. We clearly not allowing y'all to get away with it. Every time y'all try, we catch y'all right at the beginning of it. Okay? Let's see what Essence is going to look like next year. Who do you think is showing up? Because the thing is, y'all want to cater this and center Africa and center the Caribbean, but y'all want us to participate. Y'all want us to be cool with it and show up and participate and buy the tickets and buy the items and all of this stuff. Y'all not asking them, because there's not enough of them to make Essence pop like that. They can't make Essence pop like that. Y'all want us to stay in the room and be okay with our culture leaving the room, and that's just not gonna happen.
It's not. We're not doing that. That's something like their ticket sales was bad this year. They're gonna be worse next year. What they need to do is just sell that joint again. Sell it back to a Black American. Like at this point, just sell that joint back to a Black American, because it's not about it. Like, it's no way. Especially after all of the social media coverage, so much on a grassroots at that. And then you're talking about on the mainstream. That was just a Fox clip that we was looking at on a mainstream level as well. It's too much exposure of what's going on. It's no, I'm not even interested. I'm not even about to look at that. I'm like, I'm not interested. I have no interest in going for next year at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's none, because there's no way I'm about to go support that and get into some sort of African culturally mixed bag that has nothing to do with what I would be intended to go there for. That's absolutely insane. No, I'm not. And even moreover, from that, just going back to my last point, we can feel when there's a difference. You know, even if they did try to cater, because they're the people that's on the head of this are not us, we can feel when it's not us. It's just like when you go in a club and they say, yeah, it's a Black club or it's hip hop night. And even if it's a Black DJ, it's certain songs. If they don't play certain parts of the song, if they don't play, if they play certain music from certain times, like a lot of the times the whitewash DJs or the non-FBA DJs, they'll play hip hop from like 2000 to 2010 to like 2015 era. Like, immediately we can tell, oh, this nigga is not from here. Okay, or you turn off a song on the best part when everybody about to get to singing, and it's like, what the? You switch it to something that's completely out of the vibration of what we were just saying. We know, like, we can feel that's not us. We walk into a store and there's certain clothes that y'all are trying to sell us, these non-FBAs, the way they got the mannequins dressed. Nigga, what if this thing got a Versace shirt, a Dolce & Gabbana belt, some Nike shoes, some Amiri jeans? Nigga, this is not us. This is clearly not a FBA brand store. But they're pretending, and they're trying to pander to us like they are, because they think they could just come in and take over. And no, you cannot, because we see you. We know who you are, and we know who we are, and we are not the same. Okay.
Yeah. At the end of the day, there's already culture here. There's too many of them who want to come over here and then make this place like their home. If you guys want home, you can go back home. If that's what you guys want, if that's the culture you guys love, you guys can go back home. But this is not going to be Kenya 2.0. This is not going to be the Caribbean 2.0. And the thing is that we've allowed a lot of room and leeway for you all. We've allowed y'all to have holidays and parades and stuff like that. And we've never tried to disturb that. We've never tried to interrupt that. When y'all have carnival, we've never tried to mess that up or bother that or disrupt that in any way at all. But if you guys are saying, hey, I want everything, you're not going to have it. That's just what it is. This This is not going to be Haiti 2.0, Jamaica 2.0, Kenyan, Nigeria 2.0. This is not going to be that. There's this land, and the culture on this land is already spoken for. If you guys like home, you can go back.
Yeah, don't bring it over here, baby. You flow. You the one who flee. We didn't flee. Okay, we still here. So take that shit back to your homeland. That's a fact. Unless we want to go to your space, we want some jollof or some jerk chicken. We're gonna walk our asses into one of y'all spaces. But if it don't force that into ours. Absolutely not.
What you all need to do is you all first off need to acknowledge and comply with the fact that this is the dominant culture here. Okay, stop trying to fight it. Stop trying to fight that. Nobody is disrespecting your culture or your people or your heritage. But the thing is that here, this is the land, the soil. We are the soil of this land. We are the people of the soil of this land. This is the culture here. It's never going to change. So stop fighting that. Okay. When you're here, just pay respect. Just show the respect that you guys are owed, or that we are owed. Just show that, and it wouldn't be no problem. Okay, we don't got an issue with you having Jollof. We don't have it. We've never had an issue with you guys doing that, but we have an issue when we say, okay, well, this is our line, and y'all trying to cross that. Okay. So, but the thing is that you guys want everything, and you're not going to have it. Okay. You can have everything back in your homeland. So what you need to do is you need to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to comply. Okay. If Essence, even if it's a Kenyan, Jamaican, Haitian, Nigerian who owns it, if it was originally FBA, is going to stay that way. Out of my respect for the fact that I'm even over here, I'm going to have it stay that way. Stay how it's supposed to stay. Juneteenth is not my holiday. They doing what they got to do. Good for them. I'm gonna leave them alone, and I'm gonna let them celebrate however they want to celebrate. You comply and conform. That's what you need to do. That's the honorable, respectful thing to do. That's what we would do when we go over there. So that's what needs to happen. That's a fact. I like that you said that too. They need to respect it. This is the dominant culture, because they don't. They try to act like we a damn minority, and I'm like, do y'all? I mean, it's just insane. Could be 5 of them in the room with 50 of us, and they still think their culture is the dominant one. It's like, that's insane. Or they taking up the majority of the space. That's insane. Yeah, it's egregious. Yes, that's you know what? It's another white supremacist way of thinking, though. Just saying. That is true. Take over spirit. We're the culture here. Somebody said it. We're the culture here. So you can like it or you cannot like it, but it's not going to change, even if you don't like it. And we're not asking for nothing. And some people like, do y'all want us to kiss y'all feet? No. Is not being disrespectful kissing our feet? Is that what you call that? Okay. I mean, it's either that or all y'all business is just going to go down. Because y'all need us to make Essence pop, clearly. Yeah. Because clearly Nigerians and Africans ain't flooding into Essence like that. Otherwise, the ticket sales wouldn't be so low. So clearly y'all need us to stay. And we telling you, we making a stance. Oh, we not staying. Not like this. No. But that's what I'm like, we're going to see. I'm excited. I'm actually kind of excited to see what next year look like. Because I know FBA is about to stand on business. I know we about to stand on. They about to be blown. We're gonna see if them Caribbeans, Africans pop out for them, but I highly doubt it. I think we're gonna stand on business and they're gonna feel it. Oh yeah. Yes, indeed. But do you have any final words to say on the subject? Final thoughts, I will say. You know what? Let me start with that. Actually, FBAs, we do need to stand on business. Do not buy no fucking tickets to that festival next year. I'm sorry. As long as I'm gonna keep it a bean. As long as it's not owned by us, we shouldn't even be supporting that shit. I'm sorry, especially with the direct disrespect from this year. We shouldn't even support it. I don't think we should even go back to supporting Essence Fest until it's Black American owned again. Like, dead serious, to be honest. I don't even think we should even give it the benefit of the doubt no more. They showed their hand. We're gonna take it for what it is, and we'll move accordingly. Okay, so if we need to create another festival, we need another FBA to come up to create another festival for us. That's fine. I'm with that. We can start donations. We can start planning now. I'm all in support of that. But as far as us going to that festival, I'm 86 of that bullshit. That's not even on my list no more at all. And I don't think it should be on any other list. And for any other thing moving forward, festivals, events, especially in a political space,
we don't need to be supporting anybody who really isn't for us by us. I'm gonna just be real. I'm all for B1. I'm all for supporting Black people globally. And I understand white supremacy is a team sport, and so we have to play as a team as well. I'm all for that. But we also got to prioritize ourselves. Okay, so I think that has to be at the forefront. I don't know what the hell. I'm all for something. I'm bad. It's flying in front of me, but I'm about to kill that. But I don't care what it is. As long as it's somebody from here, homegrown, we need to prioritize them first. Okay, you can still go eat your jerk chicken or go listen to some reggae music, go to the reggae club if you want to here and again. But we have to come first, because clearly when we try to be nice and we try to do an all together kumbaya, we end up in dead last. We end up with the shorter end of the stick. We end up being disrespected. We end up being undervalued. And I'm tired of it. We should be sick of it as a group. We should be sick of it as a lineage. And it's disrespectful not only to us, but it's disrespectful to our ancestors, to our culture, to our heritage, to the work that has been put forth for us to come here, for them to come here. So yes, we have to prioritize ourselves. Essence Fest is 86. That shit is 86. If you're a Black American and they're paying you to come there, which I'm sure they're going to be trying to do that. They probably going to be trying to pay Foundational Black Americans, the influencers, to come out to the event next year. I wouldn't be surprised just to give it good reviews and act like it's Black again, y'all. No, we need to check for the ownership. Then we need to make sure that if we're going to support, they need to sell it back to a Black American. And if it ain't FBA owned, then we don't need to rock with it. It's just that simple.
Our culture needs to be protected. Our culture needs to be protected. Okay? People don't understand it, because there's a difference between being raised in America and being from America. It's a difference. Okay. When people talk about we get pulled over by the police too and we face racism, I'm not going to sit up here and at all, as a person I am in my mission against white supremacy, deny anybody, any other Black person's fight against racism. But the thing is that there's a difference from being in something and of something. Okay. They might be in America, but we are of America. That's a very different thing. So it's a thing that they don't get, because they have to get that from their grandparents, and they have to get that from their parents, and they have to get that from their experience, and they have to get that from their parents. And it goes back and back and back, and they can't. So they don't understand it. They can try to replicate the recipe, but they don't understand it, because you don't know what it's supposed to taste like. That's the thing. So when it comes to our food, our recipes, and I'm saying that to use it as a metaphor for culture, they don't know what it's supposed to taste like. We do. That's why when we taste something, we be like, that's not how grandma made it. We instantly know that. And this is why when they come in and they replace the chefs, we don't show up. And let me tell you something. Us not showing up is a very big deal. Ask Kamala Harris about that. Us not showing up is a very big deal. And they can try to gaslight and deflect and act like us not showing up doesn't mean anything. Okay, well, ask Kamala about that. Us not showing up means a whole lot. Ask them right now about Essence. I'm sure they counting $8 looking back at their sponsors like, I did not expect this to happen. Us not showing up is a very big deal. It's not going to take much. If all we got to do, get this maybe 1 or 2 years, starve them out, they going to be like, hey, yeah, y'all trying to buy this off us because we don't want this no more.
Come on.
It's not going to take much. Us not showing up is a big deal. And we already showcased this year our power. This year and last year, we've showed up, or we didn't show up, rather, and we showed our power by absence. And that is going to make people respect our presence.
Absolutely.
ZEZE, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me on YouTube at ZEZE Rants or A to Z TV. You can find me on TikTok and X, Instagram at ZEZE Rants on everything. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to For the Culture. Okay, do that. Like the video right now.
Yes, indeed. Do it right now, right this second, right now. Okay. Where you're watching live, do it right now. You can follow me, of course, on Afro Elite on Instagram, the Afro Elite on Twitter, and all of that stuff is in the description below. All of that stuff is in the description below. All right. let me get to some of the super chats. I'll be telling you to complain about these glasses. Miss Niecy, she said, glad you're wearing your glasses. She sent money. She be on it about them glasses. I can't go live without them glasses. All right. I love it. Bro Fly Lineage says, we on that FBA Expo time. Anyways. Yeah, we are. We are on that. That's the time we own, and everybody gonna have to respect it because it's not going nowhere. All right. For the Culture also does have social media. It does have a YouTube. Well, of course, you're on it, and it does have a Instagram and a Twitter account. And the links is in the description below. What I need from you guys to do is hit that like button. Hit that like button. As you can see, this channel is popping. As you can see, this channel is on fire. We late at night got 800 people in the room. Okay,
I can't even see it.
Yeah, we got 800 people in the room right now.
Hey y'all.
Okay. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button because this is gem. We dropping gems. Okay, consistently. Y'all want to come back for the gems? Y'all make sure y'all subscribe. That's what y'all need to do.
Exactly.
Family, we appreciate you. We love you. You know what I'm saying? And we standing up for our culture. It's FUBU, it's for us and by us, and anything else gotta go.
Absolutely. We be one, baby.
Be one.
FBA first. FBA one.